Okay, first time using the Tina Davies fade line, and I used it to shade a powder brow. I'll show you some pictures. So first thought on it was it's pretty hard to like pump out and get it to not splatter all over your cup. So I didn't love that. The design's a little hard there, and when you shake it, it's really hard to shake it. You have to have like an actual shaker and put your finger over this nozzle because it will spray ink out on you. So that was my first thought. So design, they kind of need to upgrade on that. Goes into the skin really easy. I was shocked at when you wipe it, how much yellow is left, like highlighter. Have you guys ever seen that before? Which goes away, but it made it really hard to see any brown or where you were working. So you have to have some sort of like ink soap on hand. That did take that yellow completely off. But even using like my liquid numb or my numbing agents wasn't budging that yellow. But I did love how it went into the skin. Like most of her pigments, the client did leave red, but I know that they'll cool down when they heal just because I've worked with these lines before. So I will post the healed in 4 weeks so you guys can kind of see. So far, I really like how it goes into the skin. I used the masked, which I really loved, and I used their 3-round liner this time. I usually do a shader, but I used the 3-round liner. I didn't want to do the single needle, tired of it. 3-round shader goes in really quick, but I wanted a little bit more control because I wasn't positive how this ink was going to go, so I chose the liner, the 3-round liner. Loved it. So I'll link this, the masked and the dragon mask liner. This was a 3.5 diameter 3-round liner with this dragon mask. So I'll post a link for those. I think you can get 15% off of that link. Just while we're talking about pigments, know your pigment lines. So if you're working with an iron oxide, you can use a larger needle size and you have to actually get more ink in. So if I'm putting 4 layers into the skin, these 2 layers scab off in the healing process. They're gone. So you actually have to put more ink in with an iron oxide, and you want to use a larger needle configuration. Otherwise, in a few years, they're going to heal warm, right? But if you use a larger needle configuration with a carbon, now this is a combination, carbon and iron oxide. So this is like in between carbon. Permablend is just carbon. LI Pigments, this is an iron oxide. This is a hybrid of the two. So still go easy because it does have a carbon. You don't want to put too much ink in. So if I'm using a straight carbon, I'm using like a single needle, 3-round liner as well. Little saturation. You're not putting too much in because this will turn gray over time. You don't want to oversaturate. So with this hybrid line, I'm staying super conservative. I'm not oversaturating the brow like I would have to with an iron oxide. Okay, so know your pigments. If you're using something with a carbon in it, don't put too much in the skin. Use a smaller needle configuration. Don't oversaturate. If you're using your iron oxides, you're going to need to oversaturate that a little bit more because you're going to lose a lot of that in the healing process, okay? So anyways, if you are using this new Tina Davies fade line, shake it carefully. Cover this part with your finger. I like to have an electric shaker on hand for this because it was really hard to shake and get it mixed up. And you can see where it settles because you can see like the yellow and the green at the bottom and the reddish color at the top. And definitely have some sort of ink soap on hand to wipe if you're using this. I mean, I feel that same way about Permablend, honestly. I don't need ink soap when I'm using iron oxides. And really loved the mask. It worked awesome. I'll post some pictures and a video and check back in 4 weeks and I'll post her healed for you.